In a world where social media has become a constant presence in our lives, it is time to ask ourselves a vital question. Have we traded the healing power of human connection for the fleeting comfort of online validation? Have we sacrificed our mental health on the altar of likes, comments, and follows? As we strive to present our perfect curated selves to the digital world, are we neglecting our own mental well-being? In a world where one could share their thoughts and opinions with just the click of a button, we have witnessed the rise of cyberbullying, fake news, and polarization of opinions. So what then do we do? Do we throw our hands up in despair, or do we take actions, both in our lives and as a society, to address the impact of social media on mental health? As a student nurse, I have witnessed firsthand the impact that social media has on mental health. My name is Kuma Confidence Keming, and I'm here to shed light on the complex relationship between social media and mental health. Today, I'll be discussing the ways in which social media can either harm or help our mental health, and I'll be providing practical strategies in maintaining a healthy relationship between these two. So, by the end of my talk, you are going to have a deeper understanding of the impact of social media on mental health and practical steps that you can take to protect yourself and support those around you. So let's dive in. Talking about social media and mental health. Mental health here is a psychological state that involves the way we think, feel, and behave, and it is influenced by a wide variety of factors. While social media, on the other hand, is one big online world where we can talk, share things, and it can also help us to connect, as well as make us feel sad and isolated if we are not careful. Social media has improved our lives in many different ways, both the good and bad. On one hand, it has allowed us to connect with people all over the world, share ideas and information in a way that was never thought possible. But on the other hand, it has exposed us to some of the worst aspects of human nature, like bullying and harassment. Social media has been linked to a wide range of mental health issues. Here are some examples. In the first place, we have SMAD, social media anxiety disorder. This is a unique form of anxiety that is caused by the use of social media. The constant pressure to present a perfect life on social media can lead to symptoms of anxiety such as worrying about how people are going to perceive you, feeling like to constantly check your updates or your status, be it on WhatsApp, Facebook, or Twitter. Research has shown that up to 30% of young adults report symptoms of SMAD. Moving on, we have phantom vibration syndrome. Dr. Michelle, a psychology professor, discovered this phenomenon where people can constantly feel their phones vibrating or ringing even when they are not. Research has shown that up to 90% of people experience phantom vibrations, which is a leading symptom of addiction. The cause of this syndrome is believed to be the brain's desire for stimulation and distraction. In a world where we are constantly being connected to our devices, our brains become accustomed to the constant notifications and alerts. When these alerts stop, our brains now begin to imagine them causing us to feel phantom vibrations. Furthermore, we have cyberbullying-related depression. Research has shown that adolescents who have been victims of cyberbullying are more likely to express symptoms of depression, and up to 50% of these adolescents have been reported being bullied online. Social media is a double-edged sword when it actually comes to depression. On one hand, it can provide feelings of connection and support, while on the other hand, it can make us feel hopeless and isolated. We also have sleep disruption. Research has shown that the blue light rays emitted by our social media devices like our phones, our computers, and the constant notifications and alerts we get from our social media platforms can disrupt our sleep patterns, leading to increased levels of stress. And a study also found out that many adults sleep in bed with their phones, thereby reducing the quality of sleep that they get. There is also social media-induced body image. Young girls tend to have issues with their body image due to constant exposure to highly edited and often unrealistic images online. There is also social media-induced envy, where people feel envious and dissatisfaction with their own life due to curated and often exaggerated portrayal of other people's lives on social media. Imagine a young girl, 19 years old, named Sarah. One night, as Sarah lay in bed trying to fall asleep, she felt her phone vibrating. She reached out for the phone, but there was no notification yet. Few moments later, the vibration came again and again. It was like her phone was mocking her, taunting her with the idea that someone was trying to reach her. Meanwhile, it was just phantom vibrations, a cruel false world that Sarah had created for herself. As she continues to scroll through her Instagram page, she sees a post from a social media influencer who is showcasing her seemingly perfect life. Sarah begins to compare her own life to this idealized version, and she starts to feel inadequate. As she continues to scroll, she notices that most of her friends are posting pictures of images of a party that she wasn't invited to. She starts to feel inadequate again, like she's missing out on all the fun. For the next few days, Sarah becomes increasingly anxious and depressed. Desperate to feel better, she turns to social media even more. She starts to filter her photos so that they can become thinner and more attractive, and she also engages herself in unhealthy dieting habits in an effort to achieve an ideal body type. As Sarah's eating habits become more disordered, her mental health continues to decline. She begins to receive cruel messages from anonymous users telling her that she's ugly and useless. Overwhelmed by these negative experiences, Sarah begins to decline herself from family and friends, and she starts to spend more and more time in her room struggling with these emotions. Do you resonate with Sarah, or do you have someone who resonates with Sarah? Let me tell you this, social media is not a true reflection of reality. Yes, it's not easy to get caught up with the perfect images and experiences that people post online. But remember that everyone has struggles and insecurities, even if they do not post them online. So what then can we do? The power of social media is undeniable, but we have to think about what it is costing us. So we have to take steps to manage our social media use and also protect our mental health. The first thing that you need to do is set limits to the time you spend on social media each day. Unfollow any accounts that are making you feel bad about yourself. Remember, don't use social media as a means to escape from real life problems. And finally, create positive connections online instead of comparing yourself with others. Moving on to the next, we have the benefit of social media on our mental health. Firstly, social media can provide support, connection, and a sense of belonging to those suffering with mental health issues. It also acts as a platform for fostering honest and vulnerable conversations on mental health. When we talk about mental health, we are referring to the very essence of our humanity, thoughts, emotions, experiences, and interactions with others. In a world where one can often feel lonely and isolated, social media has the potential to bring us closer together, to remind us that we are not in our struggle alone, to give us the support and courage that we need to keep fighting. Are you someone suffering from mental health issues, a loved one, or are you a friend struggling to support someone? Social media is a powerful ally for the fight against mental health issues. It also creates a ripple effect of hope and support in the lives of those struggling with mental health issues. Mental health is not something to be taken lightly. The struggles that people face can sometimes be very difficult and complex. But just as a spark can ignite a fire, so too your support can ignite the spark of hope in the lives of those around you. And just as a drop of water can create ripples in a pond, so too your actions on social media can create ripples of change in the lives of those around you. Today, let's be the positive force that creates the change in the impact of social media on our mental health. Let's remember that social media can either be a blessing or a burden, but we have the power to tilt the scale on the side of the group. Let's use social media as a weapon to promote self-awareness, reduce stigma, and support those struggling with mental health issues. Remember, behind every profile is someone who wants to be accepted, understood, and loved. Thank you.